What starts as a story of mere corporate espionage spirals into a murder case with almost half a dozen suspects, perhaps more. The only issue is the local detective is an apathetic, stuck-up, and eccentric sociopath, a man who comes out of his pampered cave only to replenish his funds. Will our hero manage to coax this fat Holmes out of his cave? Will he manage to coax the truth out of the suspects and victims? This book was picked out by a friend because he thought the title and cover looked cool. No one we knew had read it, so I read it and got a post-AP Lit exam assignment and decided to use it for that. Then a month passed. So I looked it up and discovered there are no Spark Notes or reading guides for this book, which means that students can't just copy someone else's summary. Another benefit of this book to students is that this book is fairly short. I read it in about 3 sittings, only a few hours long. It is a mystery book written by Robert Goldsborough, as a continuation of Rex Stout's Nero Wolfe series, after Stout's passing. Various reviews say this author is faithful to the original. The book is set in New York in some time when VHS tapes were used and the Cola Wars were a thing. The actual main character, who narrates the book, the Watson of sorts, is Archie Goodwin, a playboy who's officially Wolfe's secretary and chauffeur, but seems to be the real detective, gathering the clues for Wolfe to put together as Wolfe feels like it. The part I like best about the book, and what might motivate me to seek out more Nero Wolfe stories, is the narration. It is all narrated by Archie Goodwin, who has fun descriptions of everything that are often laced with metaphor. This diction is often simply quips with wit baked into what would normally be dull, necessary descriptions in other books. The narration is dripping with Goodwin's character, giving a good idea of who he is and how he thinks beyond conversation. His descriptions reveal he is more than just a lower upper-class playboy, but actually smart and generally fun and witty. The descriptions show both his genuine affection and frustration with his eccentric boss, and his understanding of the other characters central to this particular story. It was very engaging and arguably the best part of the story. As one article with this book put it, it was really for the most adamant Nero Wolfe fans that just wanted more of him. This appears to be well into a series, with characters established, so there wasn't much time getting to know the characters. Though looking up interviews with Stout, it doesn't seem like his stories were ever focused on the characters. The characters were charming in a quirky, mildly deranged sort of way, but the little time spent with them did not incline me to seek out the rest of the series. This particular book is slow, and the solution to the mystery is unsatisfying. It makes sense, but it doesn't have the same punch that would have been gotten from other characters with more screen time. The motives were there with those other characters because they were suspects, but I suppose it would have been too obvious. In fact, Wolfe reveals everything at the end like a movie or video game theorist, things put together with no concrete evidence that would be admitted in court. Though, as they pointed out in the end, the case was to solve a theft of ideas, not murder. In conclusion, pretty nice book, but you should probably read the Nero Wolfe books written by Stout. Ripe for AP Lit analysis, though, because no one else has analyzed it.